Today, we're making window covers for Atlas. I apologize in advance for the AC units that are running. It's almost 100 degrees out today, so it's really hot, and I don't blame people for having their units running. I want to do more solo car camping in the future, but what I found with Atlas is that he doesn't offer very much privacy when I'm sleeping out of the back. Even with the tinted windows, you can still see in. So I'm making these window covers so that I can cover up the windows when I'm sleeping in the evenings, have a little extra privacy, and I figured that they also kind of double as blackout curtains in the mornings so that I can sleep in and not have to wake up with the sun at 5:30 in the morning in the summers. And additionally, they offer insulation, so even in the summers, it could probably help keep the car a little cooler inside with the sunlight not coming in, and in the winters, it'll help keep the heat in the car so I'm not freezing at night. Overall, I just want a really cozy, comfortable stay at camp, and I think that these window covers will really help add to that. This giant roll of foam insulation is what I'll be using to make these covers. Apparently making these covers are supposed to be really easy. All you need is like a pair of scissors and this foam reflective insulation that you can like find on Amazon or at Home Depot or something. I'm honestly a little bit skeptical about how this is gonna work or if it's even gonna work at all. So this is me trying this out and seeing if it works. So I'm looking forward to see what we can make of this. The way you make these window covers is you outline the shape of the window onto the foam insulation. You cut out that shape with a little bit of overhang, and then you're supposed to be able to press the insulation into the window, and with that little bit of overhang, kind of push that into the corners of the window, and it's supposed to hold the foam insulation in the window without any need for outside holders or clips or anything like that. Hey! Okay, it took a little bit of finagling, but it seems to work. Look at that. I just pushed the excess insulation into the corners of the windows and it seems to be staying. That's awesome. Now I get to do the rest. Made myself a little iced latte and now I'm ready to get back to work. Also, for some reason, I really love drinking iced coffee out of mason jars. Don't know what it is, but I really enjoy it. Cue the 30-second montage. Well friends, I think we're done. I've got all the windows covered up, everything fits super well, and it looks great. We're gonna see just how dark it is in here with the window covers in. Here we go. Oh man, that's awesome. You can see just a couple crevices of light here and there, but it is pitch black. Well, this project turned out super successful. It actually ended up being better than I even thought it was gonna be. I thought that it actually wasn't gonna work. I was concerned. I didn't quite understand how these were supposed to like stick in the window, but they are working splendidly. So I am so happy that I took an evening to get this little project out of the way, and now I feel a lot more comfortable and ready to go camping on my own in the truck. A few things that I learned along the way and just a few pointers if you plan on doing this at home with your car. One, if you want to, instead of just trying to form the outline of the windows with the foam insulation, you could use a Sharpie or a marker. I didn't do that because I personally didn't want any markings on the covers themselves, so I just went ahead and tried to freehand it, and it worked out pretty well. I did have to redo one window because I cut the corners a little short, but overall, freehanding it worked super well. It worked for me, and I didn't really have that many issues. Point two, depending on how big your car is and how many windows you have, you know, it might take a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than it took me. For me, it took the whole evening, about 3 or 4 hours. So just consider your time when making this. Point three, I didn't do this, but I have seen some variations where people will where people will glue black cloth onto the outside of the cover, so the part that is against the window, so it looks completely black from the outside instead of having this like shiny silver insulation. I didn't do that because I just wanted rudimentary window covers. I'm not going to be doing any stealth camping or any city camping like that, so I didn't think it was necessary for what I wanted. And my fourth and final point that I learned when doing these is that I thought that the overhang of the edges had to be a lot thicker than they actually need to be. But actually, the smaller the overhang, it seems that it actually fits better and more easily into the windows than if they're like thick overhangs. So make sure that there is a little bit of excess material away from the actual edges of the windows, but not too much. And you can always cut it down if you need to. So I made them a lot wider than they needed to be, fitted them back into the windows, and then trimmed down the edges until I got a really nice fit. Thank you so much for joining me on this very hot summer evening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you end up making these car window covers, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about how it went. Also, if you have any questions about the materials that I used, or you need any more details about how I made these covers, also let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Whew, it has barely cooled down at all, but I am so happy that these covers are done. I guess the next step is to go camping.